And so we walk around and we carry our scars, and some of us are wounded so deeply that we inflict pain onto others, not realizing that, not realizing the ripple effect that we have on other people. And some do realize it, but they choose not to deal with it. They choose not to heal it. They don't see anything wrong with it, right? And so for me, I don't I don't see that being a possibility. At least not for the person that I am. I rather heal. I'm the type of person that I could be struggling and I'll still help you. It'll still come out of me and I'll give you good advice. I'll give you sound advice. Sometimes I'll give you the advice that I need for myself because I would just want to see you feel better, right? And for many years, I stayed in a mental prison that I didn't create it for myself, but people created it for me and they had me trapped in this mental prison, right? And they had all types of techniques that they used to to affect the way I thought, that to affect the way I carried myself, to affect the way that I lived my life, right? And the choices that I made. And I didn't realize that that was the case. I didn't realize that I was being used as a puppet, right? And the reason why they were able to do that was because they were able to latch on to those childhood wounds, right? Usually, when you have a case like this, you would have a very unstable childhood. Sometimes you wouldn't even know what your origins are, and there'll always be a lack of information. And there will always be confusion and entitlement from the people that are supposed to give you this information, where they don't want to share anything with you. So you're like repressed, oppressed from an early age, right? And then you pair that up with childhood abuse at all its levels, right? All of the abuse that you could think of, we could pile it onto that, right? And then you get older, right? And you yourself put yourself into addictions. You put yourself into habits that are shameful, right? And so now you have a whole combination of a whole bunch of stuff that you just need to deal with. So it comes to a point where you have so much, right? So much in front of you that you're like, I either deal with this and clear it out, like clean out the trash, or like take out the trash, or like clean out your closet or something, or your basement, or you numb it, right? And so I tried the numbing part. I tried that. And not only were the issues there, and we're not even going to call it issues. Issues is a very small word for what that was. It's like not only were not only was a self imprisonment there, not only was a lack of self worth, the abandonment of self, like it was now intensified. But then I was delusional because now I'm putting things in my body to supposedly help me deal with it, but in reality, they're not. They're not. And if they did help with it, it was only for a little bit, but then you would have to go and do it again, right? So it was something like temporary. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't something that gave long-term fulfillment. It was like instant gratification, right? And now that I healed, right, I look at these things, at these behaviors as like possession. I look at it like, for me now, everything is like, that's demonic. I look at it like that, right? And so the best thing that I was able to do was actually choose to go through the trash. And to my surprise, it wasn't the substances I was using that was the problem. That wasn't the issue. It was the false belief systems that were installed in me. You know how you have a computer and you install hardware? The same thing people do to humanity. They do the same thing to us, and we don't realize that that's what they're doing to us. We think it's normal because it's coming from, the people with the titles, the mother, the father, the best friend, even like systems, programs in society that tell you how things should be, religion, things like that, right? Things of that nature. And so I went ahead and I detached from it. I went ahead and I went within and I detached from the programming and I chose to look at every situation, including myself. Jem, stop. Stop it, Jem. Including myself. Like literally, like look at myself. Like I had to look at myself and identify what spirits I was operating under. And and what worked for me was the fact that I don't do demons. I just don't. I don't. That's not my cup of tea. That was something that I had very clear. Like when I am able to identify something to be as demonic, right? Like there's certain things that I just don't deal with, right? And because I was being spiritually attacked and what these people were able to attack me with was my wounds, then I understood the game. The game is stay injured. And sometimes these people will create the wounds for you so that they could have something to attach these entities to you. And we don't realize that because we would say, oh no, my mother wouldn't do that. My father wouldn't do that. My brother wouldn't do that. My aunt wouldn't do that. My husband wouldn't do that. No. And then in reality, it'll be a yes, a firm yes. And until we don't have the courage to step away from that and see ourselves and look at people for who they are, identify what spirits they're operating under, what spirits are we operating under, and choose not to engage with those spirits. Like for me, it's a thing of like I just don't like there's certain things that I just don't do. And that if I know you're doing, I'm not gonna be around you because of the person that I am, the things that I've endured. Like certain things that were done to me, I don't approve that being done on nobody. Like it's a miracle that I'm alive. So the answer is no. Like there's a firm no, a hell no, right? The point being is that our wounds, our pain, our hurt are the things that are used against us in order for us to be manipulated in a way that sometimes we don't even know that we're being manipulated. So once we address those wounds, we're able to, one, make space within ourselves to be able to capture the whole perspective of things. Because once, while we are occupied with dwelling in our pain, dwelling in our hurt, dwelling in the betrayal, dwelling in the abandonment, then there's certain things that we don't look at because we are preoccupied looking at those things. So if we go ahead or we're distracted with other things that keep us to keep us distracted from dwelling on those things, but once we address that, right, and we clean it out, right? Now we have space to be able to look at the whole picture. And once we're able to look at the whole picture, we'll be able to pinpoint and identify what actually benefits us and what doesn't benefit us, and who's for us and who's not for us, and what things and what people, places, and things are affecting us at a deeper level, no matter what the title is. And that means taking accountability for our lives. and choosing to do something different with ourselves.